Hey everybody, it's Sakarma here of Total Brohammer, coming with a little fun, what is this, 1v1 of the Wood Elves versus the High Elves, brother against brother, very Total Brohammering. Anyways, so let's get right into the army compositions, which I won't try to take too long. So I brought a couple of Wildwood Riders, put them in the woods here, trying to hide them, forward deployed, trying to be sneaky. I assumed that my opponent would bring not a build quite like this, but you know, a lot of archers, because I think those are just good. That's just a good call because Wood Elves have no armor, so the archers are solid. So I expected archers, so I was like, what can beat archers? I need wild riders to ride them down. So I brought a couple of those guys. Brought one Azrai spear to fight off Cav if they had any, and also be fast to also hit those archers because they have what, 46 speed? 46 speed exactly. So I thought I'd bring them in there and you know, do a little disruption. I brought Wildwood riders to beat their infantry. I brought Eternal Guard to soak up soak up shots and be cheap, you know, cost-effective units that can, you know, trade pretty decently with the enemy army. And then I brought a couple of Way Watchers here, just one or two. Yeah, I brought two, and this was to fight off dragons. In case they had a dragon, I could come in and, you know, I brought my triple eagle build, which I've tried out, you know, one more time in the Phoenix game. And the idea being I pin them, and then they snipe them, and then I charge them, and that should be able to get rid of a dragon, you know, lickety split fast. But as you can see, there is no dragon in the sky, but there are two eagles, which I think are actually a really smart pick because they're, you know, fast and they can hunt down my archers, fly over my lines, and yeah, so good call. Anyways, that's my army, and I have the, of course, Lord of Life and Spellsinger on an eagle, along with the Gladey rather, on an eagle. Well, she is still the Glade Lord, but the Lordess, the Lady Lord, the Glade Lady. Let's look at her. Yeah, she's got that sword out. I don't know what she's doing with that, but and then there's just a little naked eagle. Yeah, but she's sitting like saddle-wise on the fucking. That just seems dangerous. That's just stupid. What if she falls? Oh my god. And like, is that? I mean, I don't want to make a crass joke here, but okay, all right. And she's got crazy green hair. Good for her. Anyways, so my opponent brought something I did not expect, which is 3 Dragon Princes. Which I don't know if I've ever seen this in any matchup, let alone online. But anyway, this is like reminiscent of Warhammer 1 with all this cav. So he brought 3 Dragon Princes. They brought 3 Dragon Princes. They brought a prince on a horse. And they brought light magic. So light magic, you know, we're gonna assume the net's in there. Of course, just the net. So smart move. Gonna pin him down. The idea being just run everything down with Dragon Princes. Can't really go wrong. I mean, obviously the Eternal Guard will do well in prolonged combat against them. And if the the Wild Rangers are in the woods, they get that bonus versus large. But otherwise, you know, they're gonna just run amok on my army, and I don't think Wild Riders have a chance of hitting them. And then just, you know, Spearmen as a holding formation because they put all their money in these Dragon Princes, and then Phoenix Guard just to, I guess, in case I brought Treemen, brought these guys along to try and bring down larger units. So let's get started with the game then, with everything out of the way. So right away he starts unloading on me. I have my Way Watchers, you know, aiming at these guys because I'm not afraid of this other than these guys. The archers. So he comes down with these eagles. I'm trying to be a little cagey, try and dodge him, but he does get me, of course. I figured these guys could kill them pretty fast. I was like, okay, we'll stay in this engagement. But no, they really wreck these guys. I mean, I have a few qualms with the Warhammer is currently constructed, number 2, but this is a little ridiculous. I mean, these guys should do, and he misses the net there. That was unfortunate. Probably a misclick. But they shouldn't be trading this evenly. It's a little ridiculous. These guys have frenzy and do tons of, you know, are supposed to be damage dealers because I have no armor. But anyways, so I run these guys back. So I see these Dragon Princes come in, and they'll absolutely wreck me. I get my Azrai spear out here to try and protect. Right now, I'm holding up their army here. I'm shooting these guys. I don't know why. That's probably just me being poor at micro. But I'm shooting these. Oh, I might be shooting these. You know, I'm definitely shooting these guys. So I'm too busy microing over here to pay attention to what's going on over there. I land my little Eagle Death Squad here to try and kill one of their Eagles. And you see, I get a nice little hit, and then I put a net on. I think I put a heal down because we're just surrounded by these guys. So I'm just like, okay, I gotta reform. This is craziness. It's absolute nonsense. So I collapse on these guys. What I should have done is sent an Eternal Guard charging there, but that was poor choice on my part. I probably just panicked. I'm just trying to kill these guys. And now I have my Way Watchers shooting at the right target, which is the most dangerous thing on the field for me, to these Dragon Princes. And so you see I have the War Dancers as my spears. I send these Wild Riders in here thinking if I can pin them down and get these guys to start doing damage, it'd be great. But he gets a nice, very astute net, and as I'm netted, he should have charged in with these guys, or they, but it doesn't really matter. Comes in with the eagle, he's doing more damage. I don't know that he wants to stay in this fight. They're fighting Azrai Spear, it's kind of a mistake, but they're coming anyways. These guys are obvious spearmen's good call here. They're shooting into this little blob. We don't know what's going on. I have my Wild Riders. I finally activate these guys. and I'm like, okay, I'll throw them around. And then I get the my Glady over here to miscast is a lot of damage. But I get my Glady in here to start hitting these archers and these guys too. Another thing I should have done is pull these guys out right away and start hitting these dudes. This matchup, I mean, I'm just shocked about how I know I spoke earlier about the Azrai Spear, but look how little damage they're doing against units they should be destroying. I mean, I know they're fighting Spearmen, but there's a lot of Dragon Princes in there, and they're just doing nothing, virtually nothing. So that kind of bummed me out. But you see, I've got my Glady over here. I keep trying to cycle charge. The good thing is, while they're shooting at her, that's doing a lot of damage, yes, but they're distracted. So these Wild Riders they're pretty much unharried, and they're able to lay a little bit of a smackdown on these archers. This is a hectic battle. Anyway, so there's still a lot going on over here. You can see these guys aren't really doing that well. They're doing a little bit of damage. Now they're finally getting some kills, but it's not that great. These guys are coming in to rear charge these Wild Riders, which is a problem. They're going to get another net off over there, I'm pretty sure, just now. And yeah, it's not looking the best. My Weight Watchers have been able to shoot this whole time, but they have not done that much damage. You can see even like these kind of staggered volleys are doing well. It's just, I don't know, they just, I guess I didn't focus fire enough, but when they are hitting, look how fast they just go down. So I kind of like Weight Watchers in a lot of builds with the Wood Elves now. In an earlier video I said that I don't think they were very competitive. I'm kind of changing my tune on them now because they just do so much damage, and dragons and these big units that you're worried about, they can just melt them. So I don't mind them, especially with the Glady with her little net, and if you have an Air Force, you can use that to an Air Force plus Wild Riders, use those as holding patterns while they just snipe down whatever they're fighting. Anyways, they finally get in the back line, but these guys are almost out of ammo, so I'm like, okay, they get them, it's not the end of the world. And while they're microing, they lose these Dragon Princes over here. These guys start going down to my Eagles. He does have a Prince, so the Prince will be able to beat probably one Eagle, but maybe not two. So I'm not really concerned. I'm just trying to get rid of these Archers because every matchup against High Elves is about the Archers when they're fighting Wood Elves. So you're just always constantly running around trying to kill these guys. I pin them down. I get them with the hit. These guys are retreating. These guys get into them, and these guys are just going to melt, these little archers. And I'm like, okay, I should have left one eagle over there maybe, or at least split up my eagles, but they get a nice little regrowth here. Doing a lot of heals. I don't know where these guys came from, but they were off in the corner probably chasing something down. These fellas are getting beat up, but they're surrounded, I think, by all of us. Yeah, so I don't mind that. They're going down. The eagle isn't doing that much damage. This doesn't really have splash damage, more like a single entity killer. I get rid of these guys. I'm still taking arrow fire. There's still tons of Dragon Princes. I send these Azrai Spear into these people, into these archers. I send these Wild Riders here. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of nonsense. The Eagle and Dragon Princes here are just eating these poor Weight Watchers for lunch with their little assless chaps. I guess those aren't cool. Oh, that's a cool little animation, but oh, he still ate it. Cool animation or not. They're not really assless. That's more like thighless little skirt thingies. I guess all skirts, not all skirts are thighless. Listen, am I a sartorial expert? No, that's not what you're here watching for. Anyways, as we were busy talking about their clothing, I managed to beat up this light wizard, chase them away. Meanwhile, over here, they're still fighting. These archers, the problem with archers in this matchup especially is that they'll retreat and they'll come right back. And 34 units with a ton of ammo are still going to do a ton of damage. So, you're constantly chasing people around, you're constantly running around. It's just a hopeless little chase going on here. Anyways, I'm able to get these guys. These guys are fleeing. I have these Wild Riders who will actually do, even at this much damage, will do well against the Prince. I mean, you can see he's going down super quick because these guys are just really good units. I'm able to chase these guys off. What I should have done next thing was just charge him. I don't know if I do. I don't remember. I feel like I don't know how this matchup goes, but I feel like Azrai Spear should do well against Spearmen. But I decided to run them out because I was more afraid of their remaining cab, which I remember was huge over here. And they have a lot of units, and they've cleaned up my infantry over there. There are Spearmen fighting these guys, but I'm not super concerned. I feel like they'll do damage, but if I can kill the Lord, that'll be huge. And you can see we're doing okay. But take a big chunk right there. But it's not quite enough, and then we start getting a little, and I think I decide to give up, and I'm like, okay, let's get out of here. And he's a little stuck on him, but then she gets out, she just flies off, and maybe I go for the Light Wizard. I don't quite remember. It's been a while since I fought this battle. But I net her, or I net the Light Wizard, and I just got a nice little charge on her with Light Sorceress, I suppose, with this Spell Singer of Life, and then I think what do I do with, but she gets a nice hit back, and that actually did a lot of damage, surprisingly. And I shoot this thing off because I see these guys are standing still, and I get, not a great amount of kills, but enough. Every little bit helps. She took a lot of damage in that little engagement, but she got rid of this light wizard. That's leadership off the field rather, so I'm okay with that. Meanwhile, I sent these Azrai Spear to clean up these archers, and they did a good job of that. I cast a little panic heal. I probably should have waited until my Azrai Spear were in range, but it was, I had no choice. And I'm like, okay, these guys are going to get, like, just murdered if we don't get to these spearmen, so I'm like, okay, time to charge. There's still these dragon princes, there's still this eagle, there's still a semi-healthy prince, there's, yeah, a lot going against me in this battle at this point. I'm like, oh, Jesus, what's going to happen? Please, somebody help me. Someone come out and, maybe a little Rohirrim charge or something. I don't know, wrong universe, but anything that'll save these poor Wood Elves. But no, that will not happen, and you'll see actually what happens in the end. So Azrai Spear, he's charging my Azrai Spear. It's going to do damage, and as long as it doesn't get stuck in, they're going to kill them. I don't know why these guys stop, but they do. And that's lucky, because if they had charged them, they would have melted them. Anyways, we get in a little eagle fight in the sky, which is pretty cool, and then I get these guys finally on it. Whenever when you hit attack with the Glade Lord, she ends up shooting first, so you always have to remember press Alt and then attack, or keep her on the melee thing to get her engaged. But anyway, so we get rid of that. So they come in, they start charging these guys. That's trouble. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to bother getting involved in this fight. I still have some ammo left. Let's shoot this prince. There's no way to heal them. Even if I miss, I'll hit one of these dragon princes. And these guys finally shatter. I think that's the last of the bows. I get her up in the air before they can make this charge. And I'm like, okay. Oh, and then I net this guy. And I just come swoop right over him. And I'm just like, okay, now I'm going to shoot you in the face. So I just sit there. And you'll see. I don't know why she's not shooting. There she goes. She gets him. Does a little bit of damage. And then, just keeping her there. Why not? I have these arrows to fire. She is taking forever to shoot. Jesus. So there we go. Again, a little bit of damage. I don't know how much it did, but yeah, that was pretty lackluster. But yeah, as you can see, he's reforming his troops. Smart move. I, on the other hand, have moved these guys into the woods, and I have these guys just running way over there. And you can see the balance bar is still quite even, although I would say, looking at it, doesn't look good. I mean, the only thing keeping me alive right now is, and that was a nice little Arrows of Kurnos, is that my Glade Lord's quite healthy. So I'm thinking, how am I going to beat these guys? What can I do? That missile missed. I probably should have just waited for my thing to reload, the Prey of Anathrema, but instead I just tried to shoot, and I missed. And I'm like, okay, what can I do here? I know I can kill the prince on a charge. That's fine. The issue stands more to, what am I going to do about these dragon princes? Those guys have started fleeing again. They're still running. There's 7 of them left out of the original, 60, so 70, so they've lost about 90% of their forces. They're ready to, go home, have a beer, talk about, the good times they had with Jiminold and Rozelface and Bergamon. I don't know, whatever elven names are in this universe. So what we see here is this blood-covered eagle, which actually looks pretty cool. I'm actually I like that a lot. These blood-covered eagles. That wasn't a very good screenshot. Here we go. There, that's a good one. Anyways, so we have these blood-covered eagles. We're flying around here. We're all a bunch of repositioning. I'll actually speed it up. So I'm trying to regather my troops here, because they do have anti-large, and these guys have a bonus versus large, and I figure if they charge them, I can get a rear charge, and I might be able enough to kill them, and even though these guys just rout off. So I'm like, oh no! And we'll see. Yeah, so my plan was initially to get them to charge and then attack from behind, but instead they end up routing off. But the good part about that is my opponent chased them unwisely, and they left their lord out there, and I got him with a prey, and I just sniped him. And then I just charged these guys. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. And then I bring these guys out of the woods. Although, no, they started routing, but they come back. A little bit of the balance bar shifts, and I bring my army back. And these spearmen get in here, and it's just she's so close to dying, but I'm able to just pull my guys out just enough. You see here, and he gets out, and I like how they walk. They waddle as if they're wearing a big old cloak. It's adorable, and he's just not quite able to keep them on the ground. You'll see, and it gets out, and then I cast, I think, my last heal. I didn't even bother leaving on them because they have their healing cap, so I think I cast a heal on these guys, or I was about to, but it didn't end up working. And then I get these guys, and the reason I bring her in here is I know she'll die, but then I don't get charged. And if I don't get charged, that'll be huge. But see, they still try and charge, but they're pulled back. I'm lucky enough. And they're in the woods, so I do get that bonus versus large. And it's just, oh man, it's just a huge clusterfuck at this point. I bring these Eternal Guard in here. My remaining, how many are left here? 11 guys, just trying to kill them. And then now they've broken, and I'm like, okay, this is it. This is the victory for the High Elves here, or Wood Elves rather. My Wild Rangers are semi-healthy. These spearmen are, there's a ton of them, but they're going to get murdered. He's trying to pull through to get my eagle, but I'm flying her away. These guys are going to be doing well because they're winning decisively, so their morale's going to be a little up, even though there's 16 of them. And then I just come back down, and I get a nice charge here, right in the back. They're surrounded. They're losing to superior troops. That's just, oh boy. But then these guys come back. These Dragon Princes come back, and they're still willing to fight. And they're coming back in this charge, and Jesus, just back and forth, back and forth. But no, I will not be deterred. I charge with my Glady, my half-life Glady. There's a dead eagle over there. Poor girl. And I net them, even though they're still moving, though. I net them, but they're still moving. But it didn't really matter, because with the net going down, cannot move. Yeah, that's a lie. And maybe, I guess, like, when the game wants them to not move, it will not let them move. So it's telling me they're not moving, but as we can see, that's obviously a lie, but that's just the way the game works sometimes. But in the end, didn't matter. They ended up fleeing, well, being immobile. And yeah, that's all she wrote. So it was a hectic game, a lot going on, a lot of running. Was my build the best? Probably not. Was their build the best? I actually like it a lot. I think it's a great move, because here's the thing. At most, a High Elf player can, or sorry, Wood Elf, I keep getting them confused, I apologize. A Wood Elf player can only ever bring one net, right? So if you have all these mobile, fast units, what is a Wood Elf going to do? There's only so much they can focus on. So between these guys and the archers and this, pretty paltry, fine, it's a paltry force, but on the ground, but who cares? I mean, you're going to be able to decimate everything that they have with these units. So I really like the idea here. Metroplex actually messaged me saying this was their first game. So if this was their first game, I mean, kudos to them. That was really, really impressive. I've played hundreds of hours. I'm not, I'm not a top tier player by any means, but I'm no slouch either. They put up a really good fight. I like this build a lot. A lot of it makes sense. A lot of it is the right thing to bring. My build, so my Wild Riders were just ineffective because there was just so much cav and mobile units on the field. So I mean, they were never going to be that effective. My Weight Watchers, they each got not that many kills, but they got a chevron. A lot of those kills are on Dragon Princes, and I don't think I win this without them, because I needed them to whittle these guys down. If I brought more as my spear, maybe. I mean, they also have a chevron, but I don't know. I don't think they perform very well, although they were key at chasing down archers. So I like to bring one of them just for the chase down archers and cav. So yeah, I don't know. I like my eagle builds. I think they're fun. Again, I think they're a decent counter to a dragon. I think they can beat a dragon if you can net them, and the Weight Watchers are invisible, so if you net them and have them come in, and if they don't know that there's Weight Watchers, they won't see them until it's too late, and by the time they're stuck, these guys will just melt them, and you can charge them with 3 eagles, and they'll be able to chase them off the field. Again, they take a lot of missile damage from these dudes, but you can cast, what's that spell called? Shield of Thorns, I believe, which gives them more damage and missile resistance. So there's a lot of interplay you can do there. In terms of my melee my on-the-ground force, I like Wilder Rangers. I think they're effective units. They beat everything on the Wood Elf roster, with the exception of Lore Masters. And you're not going to see a lot of people bring Lore Masters in this matchup because they're expensive, and there's not really much armor to chew through. So I think they're a good call. Eternal Guards are just a little holding, and they're cheap. So anyways, well played to my opponent. It was a really, really fun game. Really hectic, a lot of running around. Look at that, 66 troops left, Christ. Anyways, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the game, and join us for the next one. It's Karma out.